The Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series is widely regarded as the pinnacle of anime video games. So when Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy was announced, fans were excited to jump right back into these games with fully remastered graphics for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. But going back to these games now, were they as good as we remember? Welcome to my channel Crimson Anime, and this is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Retrospective, where we will go through the 4 main installments in the Ninja Storm series, ranking them from worst to best, and seeing if they still live up to their legacy. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm is the first installment in the series and introduced the foundations in which the sequels built upon. It has 2 game modes, the main one being the Ultimate Ninja Storm mode, which is essentially the campaign, and the free battle mode, in which the player can either play against the computer or another player. Compared to the later games, the replay value is considerably less as there isn't an online mode, but let's look at the things they do have, starting with the campaign. The campaign follows the storyline of original Naruto, ending off with the climax between Naruto and Sasuke in the Final Valley. It has barely any cutscenes at all and completely overlooks the Land of Waves arc. Zabuza and Haku are not seen in this game, which is a big letdown as they were one of the best characters in the original Naruto. This already is a negative for the game as the whole arc was completely missed out. The cutscenes we got, however, were very good, increasing immersion for the user while providing satisfying gameplay. But this immersion was quickly disregarded as Mission XP is a pivotal function which drives the progression of the storyline. Before being able to complete a mission, players must accumulate enough Mission XP. This XP is gained through completing various S to D rank missions unlocked as you progress through the game. The first missions you get are D rank missions, varying from the tree climbing and running minigames to playing hide and seek with Konohamaru. These minigames break the immersion one may feel when trying to play the cool storyline and can end up as being some tedious, repetitive tasks that one may not feel bothered to do. These extra missions also decrease the replay value as someone may not feel like doing the side mission again when starting a new game. These being compulsory in order to continue with the storyline is a big negative in my opinion, as if someone just wants to experience the Naruto storyline, they cannot simply do so. Don't get me wrong, on the first playthrough users may enjoy these side quests as the interactions seen with the characters can be quite intriguing. However, most players may find themselves completely skipping the dialogue as they just want to get the side quests over and done with and continue with the main storyline. Unlike its successors, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm's campaign isn't one you may find yourself replaying, as the mission XP can be tedious and boring to grind. It doesn't have the functions that make the user want to come back to the game, like Storm 3 has with the hero and legend options one may choose. It does have battle conditions that one may feel like going back to do. I cannot lie, not even I find myself going back to complete all of them. This is mainly because I already grinded the game to death on the PlayStation 3. So when recording to make this video, all these years later, I just couldn't be bothered to do so. Moving on, free roam in the game is a big feature, fans adore. However, the Leaf Village is quite bare bones if I must be honest. After completing missions, scrolls will spawn. These scrolls can be collected and traded with Aruka to unlock support ninjutsu for all the characters. Not only this, but the game also has ingredients and ninjutsu books Naruto can pick up. The ingredients can be given to Ichiraka Ramen to increase Naruto's chakra bar, which allows the user to jump further with the Naruto jump and ninja run for a longer period of time. This is essential for some of the side quests later in the game, as if you don't have enough chakra you won't be able to make the jump properly. The ninjutsu books unlock different ninjutsu with all the characters in the free battle mode. If I am being honest, I actually enjoyed going around the Leaf Village collecting these different collectibles. The game I played a lot before recording this series was Resident Evil 2, when you literally want to pick up everything. Maybe that mindset stuck with me while recording this, but I always like maxing everything out in games. NANI? Okay, so I know what you may say. Yes, I haven't maxed out everything in this playthrough, but that's because I've already done so in the older version, and because I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. There are literally missions asking me to break pots. No thank you. Moving on, there are shops scattered around the Leaf Village where you can buy ninja tools, music, and other things, and sell your valuables. I recommend not to sell anything, as you probably need some of that shit later. Being honest, I enjoyed the free roam for what it's worth. Will I come back and do it again? Probably not, but while it lasted, it was good. A few negatives I can think of is that sometimes the camera was a bit awkward when running and jumping. Let's move on with the actual main story now. As I said earlier, the Land of Waves arc was completely skipped. Like, there was no reason to do so. It was such a powerful arc in the show and has a huge role on Naruto's character. But this game focuses more on tree climbing. and jumping than it did this.
できるならお前と同じところに行きてえな。俺も。
Don't get me wrong, these minigames were quite fun, and sometimes I wish the later games also had implemented these features, but were sometimes used unnecessarily. The first time tree climbing was done was for tracker control, which happened in the Land of Waves arc, which was cool. But the next time it was used was when Naruto was trying to learn how to walk on water with Jiraiya. Like, I know it's tracker control, but why is he running on trees in this part? Like, it makes no sense. Like, I don't care, it's lazy. It's lazy in my opinion. Like, think of the other possible minigames that we could have gotten. Stuff to do with walking on water, stuff to do with cheating on the first exam, stuff to do with the Rasengan. But no, we've got the same old repetitive minigames. Now this doesn't mean it's bad, I just think it's a bit lazy. I mean, you should feel grateful, as the Einsteins at Season 2 completely took it out in the next games for reasons I cannot explain. Now the tree jumping minigame was alright, as it made sense when it was used. But this was used a bit too much as well. I think Season 2 was just like...
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. And another one.
Again, let me just reiterate the fact that these minigames are not bad. I just think that more minigames which made more sense could have been implemented. This would have made it better in my opinion. Apart from this, the campaign is just a few plain battles, most of them not even having cutscenes. We just have the summary screen that nobody reads, and the story is heavily cropped down. I mean, the Forest of Death arc is just a battle and jumping through the trees. We don't see Curse Lock Sasuke, we don't see the Sound 3, we don't see Kabuto, we don't see any other teams. We just see Team 7 versus Orochimaru and trying to get to the place on time. In the preliminaries, we skip matches like Sasuke, Shino, Choji and Shikamaru. I mean, I know why this is done, because obviously the opponents are not playable. But this is done for no reason. There's no reason why they shouldn't be playable. These matches don't have any story, feeling, like nothing behind them. It literally, you're playing a free battle. The later games make these feel more impactful as the characters talk during the battles and there are more cutscenes. There are even some points in the campaign where some battles happen in places where they didn't happen. Like, for example, Sasuke and Itachi happened in a forest. A forest. Like, what the hell? Like, how did it end up from the inn to the forest? I will never know that. Like, how hard is it to implement a map in an inn? I just don't understand why they're in a forest at this point in the story. Now let's talk about battles that are actually unique. The giant battles. These are very cool and it's a good way to mix up gameplay. Granted, they are quite easy, but I really enjoyed these. You fight against Gamabunta, Shukaku and Manda, even though the Shukaku boss battle here makes no sense whatsoever. Like, imagine if we actually got to play as Gamabunta against Shukaku. Like, that would have been sick. But this can easily be overlooked as these battles are very enjoyable. The quick time events also made an appearance. Now I know that a few people do not like quick time events, but personally, I don't have a problem with them. I feel like it makes you feel more involved in the cutscenes, which you barely got, by the way. The ones we did get, however, were excellent, but I just want more. Just give me more. Without these, it just feels empty and lifeless. My final verdict for the campaign was that it was alright. The theme run was very limited, the side quests repetitive, and the main story feeling more like separate battles than a connected storyline. But I do have to mention that it was actually enjoyable. I mean, I did enjoy myself when playing this game. I spent over 14 hours replaying it. I know some people may have played longer. I didn't completely max out everything because I've already done it before, as I mentioned, but 14 hours is still not a small amount of time. Judging the campaign without talking about the gameplay, I'll rate it a 6 out of 10, above average. So many things could have been done better, but unfortunately, Season 2 were lazy. But now let's talk about the highlight of this game, which is also the most important factor in any game. The gameplay. The gameplay is excellent, and therefore carries the game heavily. You have 5 different main combos, all performed by pressing circle or B, while leaving the left stick neutral or in the 4 main directions, up, down, left and right. You have an air combo, ninjutsu, ultimate ninjutsu, ninja dash, a tilt, an attack which can hit your opponent backwards by holding circle or B. You have ninjutsu clashes, which is very cool. You can fight on the walls, throw a shuriken, and when doing the ultimate jutsu, they use the must press and many buttons shown on the screen as possible. If they press more buttons than their opponent, then the move connects. But if they don't, then they don't connect. This game has 25 playable characters with 10 support only characters. These characters have their own unique jutsu and players can pick their own team, optimizing their playstyle. My personal main team is Itachi, Sasuke and Kabuto. Sasuke's Phoenix Flower jutsu is very good as it can stop the enemy from doing a combo on you, and Kabuto's sleep jutsu is also very good as obviously it leaves your opponent vulnerable. Now let's talk about the movement. The movement can feel quite stiff, especially if you played any of the later games beforehand. But this is to be expected, as of course the gameplay should be improved with each installment. As a final verdict, the gameplay alone is going to be an 8 out of 10. Very good. The free battle mode is the offline mode where players can verse the computer, or a player, or watch computer versus computer. As I mentioned, there are 25 playable characters with 10 support only characters. There are 9 stages. This is a good amount of content, especially for its time. I've poured so many hours into this, versing family and friends on a PlayStation 3. It's very fun, but it doesn't have an online mode, which obviously takes away replay value. There isn't much more to say on this, and I can't really rate it because obviously just an offline mode. So let's move on with the final verdict. After talking about the main aspects of this game, I think we're ready to rank it. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm is a solid 7 out of 10. It had a lot of potential, but unfortunately it fell flat on its face in a few aspects. But overall, it's a solid game and I would highly recommend buying it if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Part 2 of this series is on its way. As I'm very new to YouTube, I'm obviously doing this all on my own. I will try to get the second part out in the next week or so, but please bear with me. I'm trying my hardest. Obviously I've got other things I have to balance out as well. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more content. Comment below what you liked about this video, what you didn't like, and I'll try and make my content better. This is Crimson Anime, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.